Ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege now to introduce you to the fantastic Mr. Robert White. Let's give it up!
Hello. The one thing I said was don't say I'm funny, and now, so pretend that I'm not funny, because you're just about to find out that is the case. No, I do get very, very worried, because, you don't always do nice gigs like this. Like last night, I did this very rough, sort of slightly racist pub in Essex, and as soon as I walked on, a man shouted out, "Bugger off to Poland." I know, I said I'm not from Poland, and he said, yes, I know, just bugger off to Poland. So the reason I'm worried is because I have spent all day coming back from Poland, which is, there you go, good. So, anyone from Essex in? Oh no. No, I don't think Essex is all rough. My mum's from Essex, and so all three of my dads. I'm joking, Essex, I've never met my dad. So, I'll introduce myself. I'm not the best person with people. I'm autistic, which means that I find it hard to think straight. Although, to be honest, I haven't thought straight since I was 18 and I came across my Brad Pitt calendar. No, obviously when I say came across, not in a rude way, no. You might have to think about some of the jokes. Some of you might not want to think about some of the jokes, but strap in. And if anyone's going autistic, I'm a genius. I'm not, I'm gay, so I'm a genie arse. Which is true, because, a genie is something which is magic if you rub it. And an arse is a bottom, and my bottom is magic if you rub it, because first there's a poof. And then I get Aladdin. So, I'm behind you. So, oh no, you're not. Oh yes, I am. So hopefully, gradually, as we get used to each other, we will have a lovely time. Because I've got my keyboard there, and I'm generally a musical genius. I wrote 3 symphonies age of 12. I taught myself the piano. I French kissed my music lecturer. he said I was a genius. I said, oh, Mr. Johnson. Boris. So if we start the gig and we welcome to the stage with a round of applause, my piano. Thank you. No, thank you, because not all gigs are nice, and not all people are welcoming. Like last night, I did an awful gig in Glasgow, which was really hard because I was also in Essex. And thank you for those who are paying attention. And basically, there was a guy who said he felt uncomfortable just because I was autistic, and I didn't know what to do. Eventually, I walked out of his toilet cubicle. I'm sure that. But so what is autism? Well, basically, I find people difficult. Like, I've moved into a flat with my boyfriend. I've noticed where the bathroom's situated. My neighbour can see me doing a poo through the window, and now I've had to stop doing a poo through the window. No, it's more serious. Like last Christmas, I was in TK Maxx, and over the tunnel it went, "You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot." And for a moment, I genuinely thought, the assistant could have just said, "Next customer, please." Then I was in Marks and Spencer's. A lady had an epileptic seizure, so I moved her to the fitting room. I'm joking. She died. And the worst was... And you are warming up, that's good. The worst was, I was in Primark, and all I said was, "Where's the toilet?" And they went, "Oh, just go down the stairs." And I did a poo on the floor. It was okay, it was Primark, someone bought it. So all my life, I've been called an idiot for making mistakes, and obviously I'm not an idiot. All right, thanks for your rousing support. That's one person. I was in RE, and the teacher said, "When was Jesus born?" And I genuinely said Christmas, which isn't true, because if you properly study the Bible, Jesus was fictional. Wrong gig. I just like the way that splits through in between people who think I'm going to hell, and people who know hell doesn't exist. Or I was in history and the teacher said, why do you think Queen Elizabeth I had no children? And I looked in the book and I said, well, Queen Elizabeth I had no children because if you look in the book, it says that Queen Elizabeth I's period lasted from 1558. All right, that's one you get. And for those who didn't get that, that's a joke that requires you to know things. So, did I actually did that joke last night in a gig in Narnia? And there was a guy who got a religious guy who called me a poo head, so I've come prepared in case anyone just call me a poo head. There we go. No, because when it comes to being a poo head, I am undeterred. And if you don't like that, that cost $11.95. So song number one. Talking of sex offenders, no, I was with my 12-year-old nephew yesterday, and no, all he said was, "Oh, don't touch me." No, he said, "Please, no." I was teaching him the piano, and we were doing Tchaikovsky, and because we were doing Tchaikovsky, because he was Russian, I said, "Don't go so fast," because he rushed. Right, this is what it was like getting bullied at school. No, because he was Russian, he goes, "Is Vladimir Putin a bully?" And it's very hard to describe to simple people. I know Essex, it's very complicated to understand things. So I've written, this is a serious song to describe the truth about the Ukraine-Russian war 2024-25. Here we go. So apologies for being serious, but here we go. Putin has got a tiny dick. His army is just to compensate for it. The invasion and border penetration is just to compensate. He can't penetrate with his puny pencil prick. Woo! Russian villain threatening the worst crimes in history. No, just an idiot who's watched too many Bond movies. No one wants war except this puny prick. Because Putin's got a really little, freaky, tiny, shriveled micro knob he can hardly fiddle. Puniest ever pencil squiggle between his legs, it's blank in the middle. So small, not even Philip Schofield wants a fiddle. Putin's got a tiny dick. Thank you. Thank you. I actually did that last night in a gig in Moscow, and it bombed. So we're halfway through. I've got one more song to do, and then I'll go. Because it's sort of nice to be here, because I actually am slightly under the weather. I thought my boyfriend was going to be here. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it due to the fact that he dumped me in December 2007. And the thing is... And there he is. So... No, and it's very hard to date at 35 because I'm 37. No, 39, 41. So every year that joke gets rubbish, more right. Anyway, 42, 43, 47, so 48. No, and he was awful. He actually slept with my best friend, and I love that dog. But he loved it more. And I've got so much baggage from when I was young. I remember my granddad used to go, "Where in nature do two men fall in love?" And I said, "Clapham Common." Although my nan was not. My nan goes, "Whatever you do in your own bed is your own business," which was lovely until I told her I'd done it in her bed. It was okay. She was asleep. So I'm joking. She was awake. So I'm joking. She was asleep. We woke her up. Awake, we killed her. This is a song, and then I told my mum. Here we go. As I and mother sat one evening, questions came like a pain in the neck. Is there a girlfriend? Is there a wedding? I paused the telly at Anton Deck. I raised my eyebrows again once more. We talked this over loads before. Mother, you know that's not me. Again I told her wearily. I'm gay, should have known from a school report. Stood for hours in the showers, never doing sport. I'm not joking, now I've spoken, but please don't ask why the Hoover's broken, Mum. I'm gay. And she goes, no you're not, no you're not, you're only gay if gay means happy. It's innocent play, doesn't mean you're gay when you're such a little chappy. It isn't real, it shouldn't appeal, why can't it be normal like Philip Schofield? You can't be gay. And I go, I'm gay, not happy, as you mean. Lifting shirt, avoiding skirt, batting for the other team. I'm not picky, I'm not being tricky, and I'm sure your Hugh Jackman calendar got sticky, but Mum, I'm gay. And she goes, no you're not, no you're not, you're taking it way too far. 9 months in my womb, so don't presume to tell me what the hell you are. I want to be a gran, you've ruined my plan. Go marry Katie Hopkins, she looks like a man. You can't be gay. And I go, I'm gay, I'm sorry it's hard to handle. I hide my bottom in the cake so someone licks it by mistake. Don't ask where I stick the candle. Please embrace me, you can't replace me. There's no wrong sort of gay unless it's Kevin Smith. Anyway, I'm gay. There we go, thank you. Well, that's me done. You know, I actually did that last night in a gig in St Paul's Cathedral. I would say the vicar turned the microphone down, but I've never been turned down by a vicar. So, no offence if you are a sex offender. Any sexual predators in? No, there we go. Jeffrey Dahmer. So, Ellen DeGeneres. Judge Rinder. So, Jamie Lang. Not for this audience. Andy Warhol. Boris Johnson. Theresa May. Joe 90. Yes, there we go. I was going to do a joke about when you look out and it looks like Cocoon. Do you know what the best thing about that joke is? If you're old enough to remember Cocoon. So, I am going to go now because I've got a different gig to do. All I will say is you have been lovely because I actually did an awful gig last night in Croydon, and no, I'm gonna. There we go. That's me. Goodbye.